We are on campus at Georgia Tech, Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, where Saturday at 3:30, the Hokies take on Georgia Tech in an ACC football matchup. Our game preview, as always, is presented by Bojangles, an official tailgate partner of the Hokies. Be sure to swing by your local Blacksburg area Bojangles and pick up a limited edition Virginia Tech-themed Big Bow box inspired by Hokies legendary defensive coordinator Bud Foster. They are available for a limited time. We've got Georgia on our mind, or at least Georgia Tech on our mind today in Atlanta. The Hokies set to battle Georgia Tech here tomorrow. And Mikey, a big challenge for the Hokies against the 13th ranked Ramblin' Wreck.
It is a big challenge, Bill, but it's a great opportunity. They're undefeated. They're coming off a bye week. They got beat in Blacksburg last year. You know they're going to have a little chip on their shoulder. But what a great opportunity for Virginia Tech. They got absolutely nothing to lose. They can play loose, play confident, see what happens.
Well, despite the fact that the Hokies lost last week at home to Wake Forest, there were some positives to take out of the game.
I thought so, too. I thought Terrion Stewart ran the ball well. You know, he had that 43-yard run, finished up with 62 for the day. You know, I thought Hawkins ran the ball well. You know, you look at Takai Heath. He had a 9-yard touchdown, one of his 3 catches. First time he scored this year. So it's good to have him involved from that slot receiver spot. I thought that, you know, defensively they did some good things as well. But just too many penalties, it kind of cost them. But Haynes King is a real deal, Billy. That guy he's a gamer. He's a lot like Diego Pavia, Tim Tebow. He's going to will his team to win. They've been behind in multiple games this year where he has put them on their back and carried them to a victory.
He clearly is the heart and soul of the Georgia Tech team, a terrific player and a gutty leader as well. All right, let's take a look at Mike's keys to the game, presented by Bojangles. Lead us off. What's number one?
Number one is you got to dethrone the king, right? Haynes King is a big-time player. He's got a lot of skill, Billy, but he's probably got more will. And when you look at that, he's more like a kind of a Tim Tebow guy. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball. He's a leading passer, leading rusher. He just finds ways to win. So you got to be able to contain him, keep him kind of in the pocket if you can. And on third downs, he's dynamite. You know he's going to get the ball. You got to try to stop him. He's up at like 70% conversion.
Despite the fact that Georgia Tech is undefeated, ranked 13th in the country at 5-0, one statistical anomaly that jumps out, Mike, they are dead last in the ACC in rushing defense, which brings us to number 2 for the Hokies.
Yeah, you got to establish the run. You know, hopefully Terrion Stewart could be well. His shoulder was banged up. I know he's questionable. Hopefully he'll be okay tomorrow. If not, Hawkins has got to carry the load. P.J. Prelo's got to carry the load. That revamped offensive line, and we know it's makeshift and a Band-Aid group, but they got to just open up a little bit of a hole, a little bit of daylight for those guys. They can scoot through there and get to that next level. That will certainly bode well.
And finally, while the Hokies did not have a bunch of penalties in last week's game, the ones they had were tremendously costly.
6 of them, they were costly. You look at every one of them, Billy, from the 2 or 3 inches when you covered up the center resulted in a field goal. The other ones, several of them resulted in touchdowns because it extended drives. You got to play smart. You got to play disciplined. You want to be wild-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? But you got to be smart and disciplined when you know when to say when, right? When you're getting close to that sideline or you're about to have a pass interference call, you know, think real quick. You can't make those mistakes and beat a team. Georgia Tech is good enough to beat you. You can't help them.
Hokies and Georgia Tech here at Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta. Tech has had a lot of success here in Atlanta against Georgia Tech. They hope it continues tomorrow. You can join us on the over 40 affiliated radio stations that make up the Virginia Tech Sports Network. We're on the air on Saturday at 1:30. The kickoff is set for 3:30. You can also catch us on Sirius XM Radio. And if you're coming to the game here in Atlanta, you can hear us here at the stadium at 90.5 on the FM dial, and anywhere in the world, of course, on the Hokies Sports mobile app. Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech. It's our first time here in 4 years. We renew the rivalry Saturday at 3:30 at Bobby Dodd Stadium. We'll talk with you then.